Hello everyone, my name is Nujum. Today I wanted to come to you guys with another discussion post, specifically about the Champion S-Rank Mastery and some of Riot PR bullshit. So in a recent Ask Riot forum post thing that Riot decided to do recently, Riot gave us this question: what is in the Champion Mastery grades formula? As in, how do you get S-Rank, right? That's the thing people want to know. People want to get that reward. And so, the answer Riot gave us was, the grades you receive are driven by how you stack up against other players. We don't want to release the formula because we don't want it to be min-maxed. However, the variables, this is the great part, the variables are fairly intuitive in terms of what you would expect to be the most important thing to winning. Is it, Riot? Is it? Now, a user by the name of MacDShifty, I think, did a really good job of underlying why this answer is bullshit. And I mean, you don't really need a reason for one thing, because you can look at that post and say, that's a good way to say absolutely nothing while sounding like you're saying something, you know? It's like a politician at work here. It's like, you ever hear, how is Obamacare going to transfer into free healthcare for America? We're working on that. How are you going to get Mexico to pay for the wall? I'm working on that. It's like, the answer, I'm working on this, nowadays just means we have no idea what the fuck we're doing, right? That's how you know someone has no idea what the fuck they're doing, when they have to be hiding behind a fucking wall. But okay, right? So, Riot don't want to release the formula because they're worried it'll be min-maxed. Looking through this post, there's a lot of frustration, clearly. The reason people are wondering, like, about what is going on is because the score that you get, it's not something what you expect. Like, I've seen a 16-0 Callista get an A rank, right? It was like a friend in like a call, that's how I know it was an A rank, and I was so confused. 16-0, right? Like, that KDA seems mind-blowingly amazing, right? It's like S rank without fail, but the in-game results don't match up with that expectation, and that's kind of my main takeaway from the player post. Now, interestingly, we don't have to wonder about, like, okay, what does Riot think? Riot actually did leave well, not Riot, but a Rioter, someone who works at Riot, specifically Riot Socrates, left this comment. There's a legitimate argument to transparency of the feedback being too opaque. So there's three main things that I took away from this post. A, players who complain about the system end up telling us why they fail, which annoys me a little bit, because if the player doesn't know why they fail, yeah, I mean, the Rioter addressed it himself in this post, players don't know why they fail, that's the problem with the system, right? And that's kind of the big one of the 3 points I'm going to take away. But also, the third point is very interesting for me. No current solution lets Riot publish the full formula. So three things. Players who complain about the system outline why they fail. Players who don't know why they fail, that's on the system. The system didn't tell players why they fail, and that's the problem with the system. And there's no current solution that lets Rioters publish the full formula. I find that very interesting, because in that idea, right, there's something in there that contradicts itself, right? Riot has this idea that the problem with the system is that players don't know why they failed the system, but the solution to that answer would surely be that Riot just published the formula, right? Surely if Riot publishes the formula, people suddenly go, oh, I failed because I didn't deal enough damage to champions, or I'm playing support Shan, now she's not expected to go 80 carry, and that's why I failed, you know? Shit like that. But, like, this feels like more PR stuff, where it's like damage control rather than actual designers giving actual answers. Now let's start with the obvious thing. Why do I think Riot won't release the grading system? If you follow the channel, you probably know that I am a big fan of game design, and I like to look at systems. Let me tell you what I think is going on as a very much amateur game designer. The system has only been around for a few months, right? It wasn't even there at the start of Season 6. The Champion 5 Mastery is a very new system. And I honestly don't think that the formula is finalized. I mean, we know that Riot has been messing around with the system for supports. You don't want to release a rubric, right? And then change it a week later and have players be frustrated as to, if they didn't change the rubric, then I wouldn't have, then I would have gotten an S rank, right? That might be one of the big problems for Riot right now, is that they literally can't present a system that's not finished yet, right? That wouldn't be good for them. The other big reason, which I think Riot themselves obviously outlined very much, is that they're worried about min-maxing. They're worried about people not playing the game well, and instead focusing on trying to get the S rank, which, to me, seems like that shouldn't be an issue if the ranking system is done well. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're a champion that can take down towers, taking down towers should be a part of that formula, right? Heck, even if your taking down towers thing isn't part of the formula, surely if you take down a lot of towers, that should still contribute to the formula anyways, right? If there is min-maxing possible within the formula, then I wonder if that's like a problem with the formula. However, I will say this. Code, specifically calculations, can be really hard to present well. You guys know what I mean? Like, I've written code, and I can't read my own code sometimes. And maybe that's just because I'm not a very good coder. But, like, I imagine that in this system, there's going to be, like, a 10 over 109 multiplying the amount of towers you get, and then adding that to the total number of points you would need to getting S rank, right? To me, I also this is just a side note, I wonder if the code might be just really hard and confusing, and Riot doesn't know how to present it. How do you present code as something a player would immediately understand? That might also be something they're working on. I don't know. I really think the system's just not done yet. Now, just as like a quick end note, I do want to hear you guys' thoughts on the video, so please leave a comment down below. Let me tell you some of my thoughts on the system. One of the big problems for me personally is that S rank is the only thing that matters, right? And it's hard to get an S rank, and I imagine the reason it's hard is because S is literally like 100, right? It's perfect score. You guys ever get 100 in school? Probably a couple times, but it's freaking hard. And to get the S rank, you have to do literally everything right. So, like, if you get a ton of CS, you get a ton of tower kills, you get a really good KDA, you get a bunch of damage dealt to champions, you get a bunch of shielding and healing, right? You get all this stuff done, and you might still not get an S rank, and to you, it's like, wait, why did I not get the S rank? And if we publish the formula, it's because you didn't ward enough, right? It's because you didn't use your trinket ward, you didn't upgrade your trinket ward or some shit like that, right? And because there's so many categories you have to be fucking perfect in, I feel like naturally as a player, some players are just going to have a really hard time getting an S rank. And that makes it really frustrating because, again, one of my big problems with the system is that S rank is the only score that matters. You can play super fucking well. If you get an A rank, you hate that A rank. You're like, God fucking damn it, why didn't you get an S rank? Even though an A rank is a good score, it shows you did well. And I wonder if that's a flaw of the system, if that, because you're being rewarded for that S rank so much more heavily than you are an A rank, that's leading to a lot of frustration with the system. It's worse than school, because in real life, right, you get a B, you're like, okay, at least I didn't fail. You get an A, you're like, yeah, I did it. But in League of Legends, admittedly, League of Legends is a lot more fun than school, right? But in League of Legends, you get an A rank, you're like, God damn it, it's not an S! Why couldn't you just give me a fucking S right? God damn it, right? And you like go in the forums and you rage a bunch, and it leads to rioters not taking this seriously. So, that's kind of my big thing. But I do agree overall with the original complaint post by the player being that it's very frustrating, the system, because the expectations are not quite what the system takes into, and I would love to just see the official formula, even if I do kind of see reasons why Riot would not want to. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Woo!